You're listening to Permission to Shine, the podcast. Stories of overcoming obstacles and finding self-empowerment with Sherisse Bisram, Inner Power Activation Leader. The Oxford Dictionary describes permission as the action of officially allowing someone to do a particular thing, consent, authorization. What if you were that someone and you gave yourself the permission to be everything you wanted to be and more? No more playing small and accepting less than. You are worthy of the life of your dreams, regardless of what it is that you've been through. And honestly, it's exactly what you've been through that has shaped you into the version of yourself that you are now. Like a diamond, you've endured so much, but instead of breaking, you have become stronger and brighter. And if that's not a reason to shine, then I don't know what is. And if nature can do it, then why the hell can't you? You are brave, you are strong, you are powerful, and you are enough. Hear my call and give yourself the permission to shine, because you don't realise how many people are inspired by your light. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 67. Just a heads up, this will be the last episode in this series, and I will be obviously re-recording again in the next month. That is because I have some really amazing things happening in September, but also I tend to do like 10 episodes and then have a break, just because, you know, self-care and all that. I've got to prioritize myself and living my life, you know, and it's really important that I remind you of that, because I think we sometimes get caught up in being there and showing up, and that is the old school way of being, as in like when you don't show up you don't win. But actually there's a divine feminine space here where even if you're not physically showing up but you're energetically holding the space, you're still showing up for your future self, your higher self, and obviously the beautiful people in your life as well, right? So yeah, I want to pour from a full cup. So that's always my intention when I do the series, and it actually naturally always falls in a really beautiful way. So if you are listening to time, as I always say, in September I have a really beautiful jam-packed month, and you know, a little kind of snippet of what that looks like is that I'm delivering a few free masterclasses the week that I deliver this podcast. So yeah, please do head to the links in my bio if you want to gain access to those. They're free events to attend. And then also the following week, I have a really amazing opportunity. It's a full circle moment for me because I'm going to LA. And if you have been with me since the start of my journey, when I started the podcast, the blogs, and all of the things, that was like 2021 or something crazy. I was planning to move to LA in the lockdown. So, and obviously it wasn't supposed to be the lockdown. So 2020, I had my flights booked to go to LA, and I was going to, yeah, move there as a professional dancer. And then obviously I didn't get to do that because of the pandemic. And I just kind of convinced myself at the time that it wasn't the right move. And I still stand by that. I don't think it was the right move for me then. I'm now curious and wonder if it is the right move for me now. So I'm kind of going very open-minded for that possibility and that opening. I haven't actually said that out loud yet. So that's yeah, something that's just fallen out of my mouth. So there we go. Your higher self is talking to you always. So you have to listen. So that's me then taking note of that for myself. But also really wonderful that I'm going on a retreat in LA, but I'm also going to be teaching on that retreat. So I'm so grateful to be able to go out to LA now in a full circle moment, to be able to see how far I've come, and the fact that the last time I went to LA was 2019. I was in the peak of burnout. My dance career was going amazingly. I was soaring, but in the inside, I was numb. And I think that going there now, feeling how I feel, all of my channels open, all of my energy open, I'm going to receive some beautiful wisdom. And anyone that knows about astrocartography, it's basically astrology, but using the world map. Now, and every line, so if you imagine a map, and every single line on that map is a planet. So if you think about like a chart, like there's planets along the top and along the side, and these lines cross over across your whole world, right? And it's everyone's is different. My moon line is right next to LA, so close, and it goes through some of the states in America. So it'll be really interesting to kind of visit them at some point and just see where if it's relevant. If for some reason like Alaska and like places like that I've got really strong connection with, and I don't like the cold weather, so I wonder why that is. Anyway, side note. But yeah, my moon line runs next to LA. So I'm imagining that my intuition's going to be heightened, downloads and that feminine energy activated. So I'm so excited to go back there. And I fully manifested this trip. I cannot even tell you. And the beautiful thing is, the whole summer, as I said to you, I really surrendered to rest and to being in my feminine, and I enjoyed every moment of it. And I noticed as I entered September, there was a bit more masculine energy, a little bit of force. And I was like, I don't know how this dance feels, but I'm honoring the fact that I still want to lead in my feminine energy. And when we do that, we are truly surrendering. Like, we're truly, truly surrendering when we're just trusting fully, but also taking that aligned action. And it's a constant dance that we're doing. It shouldn't feel stressful though. It shouldn't feel like you've got to remember all the steps and there's a lot for that. It should be a dance of like, your favorite songs on and you're just moving. You're just moving and grooving. There's dips, there's parts where you can go a bit more full out, and there's parts where you can just chill out. And yeah, that is the beauty of life. And I did have a conversation with someone today, and she was just saying to me, "Oh, I don't think it's supposed to be easy though, because we're learning lessons." And I said, yeah, I agree with you. Like, there's supposed to be hard parts because we have to learn from them, but the learning and going through the journey gets to be easy, because the more we do something, the more we trust ourselves. Therefore, even if it feels shadowy or scary, we know that regardless, we're going to be okay. And I really want to reiterate that, because I want you to know that the universe 100% always has your back. You are never in the darkness. You are never in the darkness. And when you are, when it feels like you're at rock bottom, let me tell you, that is where you're being replanted. You may have heard that saying before, but the seed goes into the darkness and then sprouts up when the time is right. Once it has been nurtured, once it has been, soaked up the nutrients that it needed and the rest that it needed in order to be able to come into the light. So I want you to remember that if you are in a dark space right now, that is exactly what is happening for you. And it's even, when we talk about the metamorphosis of the caterpillar to the butterfly, there's the cocoon phase. You have to go into the dark to appreciate the light, because if everything was always good for you, if you were always, thriving and abundant and living life to the fullest without any form of hardship or difficulty, you wouldn't appreciate it. I don't know about you, but we watch celebrities now, especially the celebrities that had childhood fame, and they are going off the radar and like off the walls with crazy decisions and like, all of the things that you wonder what they've been doing, but it's because they peaked too early, right? They didn't go through that process of earning that that success or those riches from a place of not knowing. They've only ever known success, so they not taking it, they're taking it for granted, aren't they, really? And blowing their money on drugs and alcohol and all the things. So I just feel like it's a really important thing to remember, that you don't want to be someone that, yeah, it's always, maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, if everything was always good all of the time, you wouldn't, one, learn anything, and two, you wouldn't grow from it. And that's the thing, right? When we are too comfortable, we don't grow. So there needs to be an element of something that feels a little bit uncomfortable to push you through it. But when you get comfortable with being uncomfortable, that's the easy part. And I just wanted to reiterate that. But that isn't what I wanted to talk about with you today. What I wanted to talk about was maybe something that is uncomfortable for you: commitment. Yes, I did go silent there on purpose. Commitment is something that I have so many people in my life talk to me about, whether it's commitment to themselves, commitment to a partner, or partners being committed to them, whether it be that you are constantly meeting people, dating people that can't commit to you. You've got friends that are wishy-washy and inconsistent or flaky. Maybe your job keeps offering you promotions and then you never get them. All of that is a sign of, commitment. And all of it stems down to the commitment you have to you. Because as I always say, we are a mirror to our universe, right? So how we feel about ourselves internally is what is projected outwardly. And I say that all the time, you know. So I want you to really take account of where you are right now in your life and, ask yourself, how committed am I to myself, my goals, my aspirations, but also to my boundaries? Do I know my boundaries? Do I know my values? Because the thing is, if you don't know what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept, the people in your life will be crossing those boundaries because you haven't set a clear one. And it's the same with yourself. If you are someone that is constantly inconsistent, meaning that you set these goals that you want to achieve. For example, an easy one is you want to go to the gym 3 times a week. But now, for example, you might start using the excuse that the weather's not great. So you might find that you get in from work, you have every intention of going to the gym, and you don't go because it's cold or you've had a long day. When we are creating a new habit, it takes 21 days to build that habit. And the problem is when you don't do what you say you're going to do, you don't trust yourself. And when you don't trust yourself, you don't respect yourself. And when you don't respect yourself, guess what? No one else respects you too. Yes, I said it. And I'm giving you harsh truths here because there is a divine feminine way of doing these things, but the safety and the structure is created through the masculine. So in order for you to feel safe in, your life, you have to feel safe in the structures. So you have to do the divine masculine bit almost, when you're creating a new habit, that almost comes first. Now, it hasn't come first because it's come from your female intuition telling you that you want to go to the gym 3 times a week. That's the feminine telling you we need to do this in order for us to feel more confident, better in our bodies, to yeah, whatever your goal is for going to the gym. It could just be a well-being element, it could be to clear your head, or it could be because you physically want to change your body, right? Any of those things are okay. The thing that is not okay is telling yourself you're going to do it and then not. That shows a lack of commitment, a lack of commitment to your goals. Same way at work, you are having conversations all of the time with your higher ups, and they're saying to you, oh, yeah, well, let you know about that promotion coming up, or you'd be great for that promotion. And then they give it to someone else. There is a reason they're giving it to someone else. Now, there's a million reasons why, and it's not because you're not good enough, but clearly they can see there's either a lack of commitment to yourself as a human, right? So you being committed to just showing up and doing the thing, and or there's something in regards to maybe not stepping forward enough to say, hey, you mentioned about that promotion, what is it you're looking for from me in order to be able to have that? That would be you being committed to that goal. You'd be saying to that person, okay, what do I need to do to show you that I'm ready for this? Or maybe you just say, I'm ready for a promotion now. How do we approach this? That would be you being committed to that goal. Because all the time you don't say anything and you're just waiting for it to happen, it's like, stabbing in the dark. You don't know what's going to happen, right? So I think that you have to be clear on what it is you want, and that's your values. That's your boundaries. So for me personally, I don't do well with one authority. Side note on that, that's a whole different episode. But that's been obviously childhood things I've worked through. And equally, I think it's when it comes from a place of integrity. If someone's in integrity of how they're leading, I can take it. When they're not and they're just shouting for the sake of it, it's like, no, I did that for too many years and not listening to that. It activates a part of me that I don't want to be anymore. So I just remove myself from those situations. And that's my boundary. Yes, that's a boundary. Anyway, completely side note on that. But yeah, your boundary could be, so for me with jobs, for example, so obviously I've always been self-employed and I was a full-time performer and dance teacher prior to obviously embarking into this world. And obviously I was always doing this work for free, not realizing that I could make a career out of it. So just side note, I've got obviously like 33 years of experience being this person. Maybe not 33 because I wasn't out of the womb doing this. Maybe I'd say, good 25 years. I would say that because yeah, I was aware of trauma at about 4 years old. So we're going to own that space. Anyway, again, side note. So when I was doing a couple of dance teaching jobs, I really noticed the change in the young students that I was teaching. And for me, I don't go anywhere I'm not valued anymore. I spent my whole life trying to prove myself that I was worthy and deserving of being seen, heard, and understood. So you best believe the minute I stopped feeling seen, heard, and understood, I'm out of there. I will not put up with it. Whereas I have met so many people, women, that have stayed in a job that they absolutely hate for the sake of it. I don't know if it's a fear of the fact that there's not anything else out there, or maybe they don't want to do anything else, or maybe they don't know what to do, but they will choose to stay stuck, stagnant, and unhappy instead of stepping out of their comfort zone to do more and be more. Those same people are the same people that I meet that won't get themselves out of a perpetual cycle, meaning they go through episodes of depression and, you know, not having good relationships in romance and partners and friendships, because everything is interconnected. So how you do one thing is how you do everything. So you need to show up for you 100% first. And let me tell you, when you do that, everything changes. When I look back on my life, I rekindled with an old friend recently, and we hadn't spoken for like five, 4 or 5 years. And the reason that we lost contact was for a mutual friend that we're both no longer a mutual friend of. So it's really interesting that obviously that dynamic, and then meeting back up with her and just kind of, yeah, speaking about my life and how it's changed. And the reason it's changed is because I've changed. I now have such solid friendships in my life. Now, I've never had bad friendships in my life, and I want to just make that clear. But I was very aware as I was healing that I had people in my life that were benefiting from me. And then I had people in my life that were mutual exchanges of love and connection and friendship. Now I only have mutual connections of love and friendship. I don't have the other. You know, I don't have people there that like, I'll do something for you, you do something for me. And the transactional friends are necessary in different scenarios. For example, if you are living in a country on your own, you need to have people around that you can, you know, that you're all, you know, maybe not close friends, but it's transactional. And or, you know, like you're a new mum and you've got baby mum friends, you know, it's little things like that all make sense. I think for me and my work, because I'm surrounded by people all the time, transactional friends aren't a necessity for me anymore. And I feel like for me, the transactional friends were an old timeline of mine, right? And you know, I didn't necessarily cut everyone out. I had to a few people, but naturally they cut me out, or you know, life just moved on and we lost contact. There's like various different reasons as to why I'm not friends with certain people anymore, but the friends I have in my life now are so incredible, and I know they're incredible because I'm incredible. And yes, I did just say that out loud, and I mean it 100%. And I hope that you mean that 100% for you too, because this is the thing. If you're listening to this not feeling incredible, that is a sign that something needs to be done about it. And this is where we make these declarations to ourselves that we need to keep. And only you can control that part. You cannot control anything in your life apart from your decisions. So, where you choose to put your energy, what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept, is absolutely within your control. So, I want you to, listening to this today, I really and truly want you to figure out, what are your values? What are you passionate about? What are your dreams, goals, and aspirations? What are they? Write them down on paper so you can see them, and then write down what you want to be known for. Like, you know, I want to be known for someone that inspired other people to just do it regardless of the situation. You know, I want to show other women that anything they want is possible, you know, regardless of the situation you grew up in or all of the things. I want you to know that everything is possible, you know. And I'm here fully, I know 1,000,000% in my soul that my soul reincarnated at this time to raise the vibration of global consciousness, for people to awaken out of this matrix of, you know, the 3D world. Now, that might not mean anything to you. You might be like, wow, she's just spitting out alien words. Or you might be like, amen. Yeah, you're like, yeah, I get it. So either way, you don't have to agree with my statements, but you need to know what yours is. Because when you know that part, you can then create the boundaries that protect that at all costs. And that is the commitment to yourself, your values, your time, and your energy. These are all the factors that you get to control. So if you are feeling stuck at the moment, it means that you are not living in alignment with your values, and your energy is not yours. Now, there's loads of different ways that you can call your energy back to you. I've actually done a cord cutting meditation that is available through my website. So if you haven't watched my masterclass, the link is in my description. It was incredible. And it's all about this. I'm just reiterating what I said there with the emphasis of the commitment to yourself. But I show you how to be committed to yourself. I show you how to be accountable to yourself. That is all in the masterclass link. And when you click on that to get access to that, you'll also get access to my free meditations, which is on there. So, if you want to create a morning routine, an evening routine, if you want a cord cut, which means, getting rid of negative energy, people, exes, that's all perfect. So that there is a great start for you. So if you are, someone that's thinking, right, how do I begin? I've just given it to you. It's there. The link is in the description of my show notes. So you've got no excuse. But a lot of the reason we will make an excuse or we won't do the thing is because we've been conditioned to believe that it's not possible, or we're going to fail anyway, or we're not good enough. There's lots of different reasons that we've created in our mind. We've created these conditions. No one else has done that for us. We have. And it could be, I mean, I say it could be, it is related to your childhood experiences. So maybe it's that you watched a parent that was an addict say they were going to give up a million times and then they didn't. My hand is raised here. Or it could be that you watch the relationship with your parents, that they were always breaking up and get back together. So you've been brought up around inconsistency. Maybe you suffered from neglect. Maybe it wasn't even that bad. Maybe you actually went to boarding school and the fact that you didn't see your parents that regularly was inconsistent for you. There's lots of different ways that this looks like. It could even be later in your life where you had a boyfriend that kept splitting up with you, and then you felt like, oh gosh, is it me? Like, am I worthy enough? It's all interconnected and it's all valid. And the truth is, and I've said this before, someone that has been through severe childhood trauma and also someone else that's been through a breakup will feel pain of the same level if they haven't, like if one person hasn't experienced the other and the other hasn't experienced the other. There's no factor that someone that's experienced more trauma would feel it more deeper than someone that hasn't. We all feel our emotions on a completely different scale. So you can't compare it. You cannot compare it at all, because pain just feels painful depending on what you've been through. Now, if you are someone that has severe childhood trauma and then you went on to meet someone and then you had a breakup that was similar to the friend that had only just had the breakup, you might not find that pain as severe because you've had childhood experiences. But again, it's all relative. We're not trying to compare, but we're trying to be able to understand that and have compassion. And I do find the most traumatized people have the most compassion because they understand pain, right? But equally, again, if you haven't, we're human. And if you're in your feminine bag, which I hope most of you are, or trying to get to, that's where the compassion lies. That's where the empathy lies. And that's where this beautiful age of Aquarius is really sending us. Like if you're watching the social media platforms at the moment, it really is the rise of the people. And we are currently in, if you're listening to time, from September to November, Pluto goes back into Capricorn one last time. Sorry, that's pitchy. But that transit is wrapping up all of the old things. So anything that you went from 2008 to now, any like continuous pattern, hardship, limitation you experienced then is wrapping up. And then we enter the age of Aquarius from November the 18th. It might even be 17th. And then we start a new timeline. That's the rise of the feminine. That is the age of Aquarius. It is the power to the people. So you are going to see the downfall of government systems, of, influencers, because people want authentic and real from that point. Yeah. So this is where you get to live your truth. You be completely honest with who you are and what it is you stand for, and what it is you want for your life, and you get to have it. You get to go for it and receive it, because you're not going to be worried about looking pretty for anyone else. You're going to be doing it for you. And when you live for you wholeheartedly, everyone in your life benefits. And my life has massively transformed. I wouldn't have been able to go to LA if I hadn't have betted on myself 100%, have trusted that I was supposed to be there and the universe made it happen for me. The people in my life, the friends I have now, are so beautiful. And I know that I had to release some of my old toxic behaviors to allow myself to receive fully, and also be willing to lose the wrong people, let go of people that no longer serve me, and all of these things. I get to stand in my truth, in my abundance, because I'm worthy and deserving of that, as are you. So how committed are you to becoming that version of yourself? That's what I really want you to sit with now. And I have 3 spaces left for it might actually be 2 for my one-to-one. So for whenever you're listening to this, if you're listening and you're like, do you know what, I really need to work with Sherisse to activate this part of me, to release those limiting beliefs and the things that have been holding me back for so long, so I can step into my most abundant timeline and receive and achieve everything I set out to do and be, and so much more. If you feel like you're listening to that thinking, yeah, I need to do that for me, then I urge you to drop me a DM, because time waits for no one, and my prices will be increasing when I get back from LA. So when the podcast airs again, after my little break, my prices will be increasing. So if you are listening to this thinking, gosh, I really want to work with Sherisse, that now is your time on this price. Otherwise it will go up, because this is the thing, I'm evolving at such a fast pace. I look back at my life 6 months ago and everything has transformed so quickly, and we are entering the next eclipse phase, which means again we're shedding old, and the thing is with me is I'm consistently doing that. Every single day I'm letting go of the things that no longer serve me, so I can step into my highest timeline. So the timeline I'm in now is completely different to what it was at the start of the year, because I'm dedicated to my growth, and my clients that are in my world, their lives have just rocket launched into such an amazing way. And it's like beautiful. It's honestly the most beautiful thing in the world. And I'm so grateful for this work that I do. And I would love to be able to support you in getting you to where you deserve to be. And, the thing is with me, which is a beautiful thing, is that once our time's finished, you will have those tools forever to keep dipping back to. You don't need me to hold your hand forever. You don't. I just need to show you how to get out of the darkness and into the light. And when you live in the light, if you do fall back into the darkness or you go for a tunnel, you know how to get out again, right? That's the beautiful thing about my work. So yeah, if you are listening to this, I urge you to drop me a DM. And as I said, if you're curious to know more, you're not quite ready yet for one-to-one, watch the masterclass. The link is in the bio. You get access to the meditations. It really is a full circle of, just healing. And I'm holding the space for you. So yeah, I wanted to round up by asking you, are you committed to yourself, your goals and your dreams? What is one thing you can do today to show yourself how committed you are? And then do it. Just do the thing. Life really does wait for no one. And I've learned that so many times in my life. And I want you to ever be in a situation where you think, what if? I want you to say, at least I went for it, right? So I'm sending you so much love and light. And I'll see you in a few weeks.
If this episode resonated with you, please do like, follow and share with someone that you know would benefit. If you're looking to dive in deeper to becoming your most unapologetic, most authentic, shining self, please do head to my website and join my newsletter, where you'll find out about all of my upcoming events and speaking opportunities and all of the things that I have going on. And also, if you would like to work with me, please do drop me a DM on any of my socials or through my website. Love and light.